Action 30.
A Stevenson Kefauver Campaign Committee presentation, Faith in the Future. Adlai E. Stevenson and Senator John F. Kennedy of Massachusetts discussed the Democratic Party.
You know, Jack, I don't think anything has interested me as much or excited me more than the young, vigorous, imaginative leadership that I've seen in the Democratic Party traveling around the country in these past few years. It was very conspicuous, I thought, at the convention in Chicago. Men like Ed Muskie, who was just re-elected governor of Maine by such an overwhelming popular approval. And of course, no one was more conspicuous among these younger people at the convention in Chicago than you were.
Well, I suppose at first glance, Governor, it might seem like a paradox that the oldest political party in the world, the Democratic Party, should have this active young leadership. But I think that in all the great periods of the Democratic Party, it's been marked by that type of leadership, because the Democratic Party, we believe, and we hope it will continue to be, is a forward-looking party. It recognizes that the country is growing, that the population is always increasing, that new problems are coming, and that therefore new solutions have to be found for these problems.
And that it isn't afraid of change.
That's right. Not just for the sake of change, but because they recognize that it's only by bringing about new solutions to these problems that we can continue to grow and find work for our people and hope for them in the years to come. And I think that's the special role of the Democratic Party, and I think that that's the special contribution that it can make to our national life today.
Well, all of these things obviously combine to make the Democratic Party attractive, because it's a party that looks forward and is prepared to do things. It isn't content with things as they are. It knows that the rule of life is change. But more important than all of these, of course, is the subject of peace. I remember so well your own dramatic history in the last war, Jack, when you were rammed by a PT boat in the Solomon Islands, and I guess...
Well, I wish it had been a PT boat, a destroyer.
It's a Japanese destroyer, my heavens, yes. You were in a PT boat.
In a PT boat.
And were on a jungle island for, what, some 2 weeks before you were rescued.
That's right. I think that people like your own sons, who are in the, been in the Army and in the Marines, and who are in the Reserve, and who are married, that obviously all of them, as well as their wives, are most interested in seeing us develop, not so much in being able to fight a war, but to develop policies, particularly in a changing world, which will give us some degree of security.
And that, I suppose, means, reduced to its simplest terms, that young people have to participate in government. They have to take a part in it. They have to participate in this campaign, just as they have to serve the state in peacetime the way they do in wartime. And it's this sense of participation that seems to me very important. I've been so hopeful that we would be able to generate an increasing concern with government and its everlasting improvement by young people in our country, and especially in the Democratic Party.
I think you and I happen to agree that their interest can best be centered in our party, but I think whatever they do, the future is going to be theirs, and it's for good or for bad, and that whatever part they play in it and whatever ideas they may have, I think are urgently needed as never before.
I don't feel exactly like a decrepit old man in the mid-50s, Jack, but I see so many of you fellas in your 30s and in your 40s who are taking positions of leadership in our party that aren't afraid to look forward, that don't look backward, that it gives me great hope, not only for our party, but for the future of their country. And I sometimes suspect that maybe you fellas are a little fearful that we're going to stifle your hopes. We older people are going to deprive you of these great aspirations for the future. But I believe if our party has been able to keep abreast of the times for 150 years, and therefore has endured for 150 years in the past, it can do so in the future.
We need a new leadership for a new America. Vote for Stevenson and Kefauver.